Welcome back to the another NCBFX weekly forecast. And today we have something really special. Now guys, no doubt last week was crazy. Gold shot up, Japanese yen strengthened like crazy. So it's a crazy week last week. Like if you guys were to just check this out for a quick moment, gold made a massive push. You can see right there, right off the weekly zone. That's a massive push. Now, I believe this is because a lot of investors are rushing towards safe haven like assets, because right now the banking sector all around the world is not doing really well, with the Swiss bank falling, Silicon Valley Bank falling, and a bunch of other banks falling. Anyways, I've did this analysis just a few hours before this, and I noted down everything that I'm looking for gold. Okay, let's see all the pairs we'll be looking at today. We're looking at gold, GA, GBPCHF, AJ, GU, and AU. Let's start off with gold. Okay, quite simply, gold is still bullish. Let's look at my notes. I hope you guys can see this. I moved my picture all the way up here, so you guys can see what I'm typing. So I said gold is strongly bullish. Trade opportunities would exist after price retraces to my key focus areas to create high lows with lower time frame structure and confirmation. Therefore, you see all this green areas. This is my focus areas. Okay, let's read my notes. Finish. Okay, let's finish reading my notes first. I believe that prices will retrace because gold is currently overextended. It is true, gold is crazily overextended, and if you look really closely, okay, let's look super close. Look where price stopped last week, exactly at the weekly equal bodies. Now that is pinpoint accuracy. So I mean, it is possible that price could shoot up, but it's more logical for price to retrace. Now, where am I looking to buy in to take prices all the way up to potential all-time high? As you know, the world is still currently panicking, and I do expect gold to go up, but not just yet. It has to retrace, it has to breathe before making another push. Alright, so structure wise, as you can see, price is bullish. In terms of a retest, we could possibly be looking either at this daily zone if we're looking for a very sharp and short retest, or this weekly zone. Oh wait, this daily zone, I forgot to tell you that it is in line with the key level of 1975. Okay, that's a very key level. Or we could be retracing all the way to the weekly levels right here, or we could potentially also come even lower right here to create a higher low. Now, if you were to pull up a Fibonacci, price hasn't retraced yet, but I assume and predict that it's going to retrace. So you can see all the levels are quite in line with everything. The 50% level is in line with the key level of 1900. The 61.8 level is in line with the weekly zone. Weekly zone, like extremely strong. And let's see what else. The 38.2 level is in line with the weekly zone I drew on right here. So see, everything connects, everything lines up. So this is where we'll be looking to buy. Once again, I do expect price to retrace before moving higher. This is not, I don't think it's really improbable that price is going to break above level 2000, which is a very strong level. It hasn't like properly closed above since August of 2020. Okay, it hasn't been that high. It hasn't been this high in a very long time. Therefore, we have to be really cautious. I do expect price to retrace. Okay, so is it possible to take sells all the way down to these levels? Yes, but just bear in mind that it will be a counter-trend trade. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's see, potentially we could have intra-day trades for sells. Okay, let's move on to GBPAUD. Okay, let's see what I said. GA is bullish with the previous 2 weeks staying ahead of the weekly level. Okay, this weekly candlestick made a bullish push off of the key level, is also a monthly flip, and the weekly zone. It made a massive push up and it closed above all of these wicks. Well, not all. It missed out one, but it's still a very strong candle, and it like broke so many levels. And the next week, which was last week, we just consolidated around this area, wicked a bit lower, but still stayed around the weekly zone. As you can see, it stayed around the weekly zone. I do expect prices to either retrace down to this key level because we need a break and a retest, which is also very near to the key zone. We could potentially have a candle come down here. So perhaps intraday selling opportunities all the way down to key level 1.8. And I do expect prices to respect this zone, but we could potentially wick into the previous daily zone right here. You see this wicks? I do expect that to happen. Okay, let's continue reading. Okay, staying ahead of the weekly level and previous weekly wicks. Yeah, exactly what I just said. However, I expect prices to retrace to my interest areas and levels before continuing higher. Exactly the same thing as gold. It has to breathe before it can continue prices higher. I'll be looking for a lower time frame confirmation with structure and formation supporting the bulls. Okay, so I'm strongly bullish on GA and gold. So my interest zones will either be this weekly zone. We could have very sharp break and retest, but I highly doubt so. I do expect prices to retrace a bit further. It's either to the daily zone or the key level before we can take prices all the way up to the next level, which is 1.85. Or potentially, if we can look even further, 1.9 or the previous weekly zone at the top right here. But obviously, price needs to break, retest this weekly zone, take higher, or come down here, test this weekly zone or key level, form another higher high, form another. I'll just draw it off, I guess. It's either it's going to come down here, form another high high, high low, high high, high low, high high, high low, and continue onwards like that. So that's what I'm currently looking at. Key areas is all highlighted in green. Just remember that. I will post a guide on what all these lines and zones means because I do have a specific guide. I have the only problem is I don't have it open right now. But that's it for GA. Let's move on to EJ. I'm gonna make this analysis super short. Okay, GA. Let's see. Sorry, EJ. EJ. My notes is a bit longer. It's a bit longer than gold and GA. This is a bit more complicated. See, GA is mainly bearish, but it's within a large consolidation between two weekly zones. This zone and this zone. You can see price, or you can say this zone and this zone. Price, okay, broke above, okay, broke below, came, retest, test, come back down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is the big consolidation zone. The reason I said it's bearish is because, okay, look at this key level, 145, okay? Price came above, broke below, retested, broke below, retested again, and broke below. It is clear that price doesn't want to be above the 145 level, and it's currently broken right below the 142.5 level. This is where we should continue reading. Hold up. Okay, guys, just a keynote. It's important that you guys make notes about your analysis because if you're just like me, I tend to forget what I draw on and what they mean. So when you write it down and you note it down, you can vividly relive your whole analysis, and that would eventually make you make better decisions. So make sure you guys note down your analysis. It is also to know that prices fail to stay ahead of key level 145, exactly what I just said. It is to know that price on the weekly is forming a head and shoulder. Okay, this is where I saw a head and shoulder. Like if you were to look right here, I'm just gonna quickly hide it. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and this trend line I drew on here is actually the neckline. So if we could possibly break below, retest on the broken trend line or the neckline, retest, form a bearish formation off of the weekly zone as well as the key level 140 flat, then we could be looking to take prices much lower. Obviously, we'll be facing some rejections off of this key level 137.5. This is a very key area. You can see price wicked in it, wicked. You can see so many wicks, so many reaction off of this area. So I'll be target. If we were to go bearish, I would look to like take prices all the way to 137.5. Okay, let me quickly delete this. I'm gonna keep my chart super clean. it's really amazing that TradingView actually added this note feature, because it's really helped me. I just discovered it today. Call me dumb, I might be late to the party, but I discovered it today and it is really helping me out, because I don't have to physically look at my book, but I can just look beside the chart. So that's really useful. If you guys think it's great for you guys, use it. Go ahead. It's also note head and shoulder pattern, and price is currently testing the neckline. Yes, testing the neckline with a wick. Okay, price failed to close up below this weekly zone. So would I say that we're fully bearish? No, not yet. That isn't enough confirmation for us to take prices lower. Not just yet. Okay, we could be going bullish. I remember I wrote it down somewhere. This weekly head shoulder testing a net line. I'll be looking to take prices to the consolidation bottom and wait for a break of retest of it to potentially take prices to lower levels. Exactly what I meant. Price has to break this consolidation, or you could say the consolidation support, which is around this weekly zone. Like if we can break, retest to break lower, then we could potentially target lower levels. But as of now, we shouldn't be taking such large scale trades because price is still in consolidation. We have to wait for the break and retest, then we can look for further levels. Okay. And however, if prices continue to reject the 140 level, we may be looking to head higher, which is exactly why I put all these warning signs on of these zones, because I expect key rejections and reactions at these zones. So 140 level, it's a very important zone. See price reacted. I draw a weekly zone on top of that because it is a weekly zone. So if price were to continue reject this, we could potentially be heading higher, all the way up to perhaps 145 for another test and potentially another break above. However, nothing is very certain right now. I'll be looking at my focus areas, which is this neckline and the weekly zone in line with the 140 level, or we could be racing up higher and having a reaction at 142.5. That's it for EJ. Let's move on to GBPCHF. Grid analysis. Oh, okay. GBPCHF is really something interesting. I've been waiting for so long. I'll tell you why. GBPCHF is currently in a descending triangle where we could see a breakup very soon. You see this descending triangle? Price stops the support, came up, create a higher, lower high, support, lower high, support, lower high, support. Price is currently making a bullish engulfing. You can see this weekly zone, or the support of the descending triangle, is super strong because it's a weekly wick line and it's really close to the key level. Just to note that last week price came down and perfectly tested the 1.1 key level and pushed above, creating an engulfing candle. This is where I do expect GBPCHF to go bullish. However, the best confirmation would be a break of the trend line, okay, coming up to test the weekly zone, coming back down, retest this daily zone in line with the key level of 1.125 to break higher. We could either be testing the 1.15 or the weekly zone. And once we break higher than this, we can be looking to take it much higher. But till then, we'll just have to wait. Let's continue reading. There's also note the weekly zone holding the formation. I need to fix the typo right there. Is extremely strong with multiple rejections. Exactly what I just said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rejection over the course of 196 days. This is a very strong support. Okay, for bulls, if we were looking to buy, I'll wait for a break and retest of the triangle trend line, which is also in line with the level and the daily zones. Exactly what I said. Key focus area. For bears, I believe it's unlikely, okay, because of what I mentioned earlier, which is price just made a bullish engulfing candle with a test of the 1.1 level. So I do not think that we probably would be heading downwards, but let's not dismiss this whole point, which I whatever I'm saying, I probably wrote it down. So let's just see what I wrote. I will wait for a break and retest of the major weekly support, aka this one. I think it is unlikely as price clearly does not want to go lower, because not only the rejection over here, when price back in September 2022, it came close to parity. Okay, parity meaning if price do reach 1, then 1 pound equals 1 Swiss franc. So clearly price doesn't want to be in this area, especially when it's respecting the support. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. Okay, I believe it's unlikely, but we will not dismiss the possibility because this is the forex market. The unexpected can happen. We don't know what's going to happen, but our job is to react to price. Now, for intraday trades, I do believe it is possible for any of us to take intraday trades, because I can see price is respecting this trend line level pretty fucking good. So we could be taking sells all the way to support, buys all the way here, blah 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 blah. But this is it's like very short-term trade, and it shouldn't be taken for too long. That makes sense. Okay, that's it for GBPCHF. Moving on to AUDJPY. Oh, it's a super long note, but let's read it out. Okay, AJ is mainly bearish, with the previous 2 weeks forming a strong bearish candlestick closing below the weekly zone. Okay, this is the weekly zone I'm talking about, and obviously it closed ahead of all of these weekly bodies. Okay, has it cleared the wick? Not just yet. Okay, price closed there. Okay, however, last week has shown that price is not ready to break below, as it failed to break below the second weekly level and merely wick tested the key level 87.5. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the previous week and this is last week. So this is the week prior to last week. What am I saying? Whatever it is, I think you guys get the point. You can see the date at the bottom of the chart anyways. So you see the last week, we were to look at the weekly candle, price came up, retested the 90 flat level, and then came down and tested this level, which is the 87.5 level, which is also in line with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I bet there's more than that, but this is a very key level. As you can see, price tested. Go back there. So you can see that price is not ready to go lower just yet. If price rejects a key level like this, we know that it's not ready just yet. And you can see the weekly failed to close below this, meaning we could be seeing a short-term bullish push before taking prices much lower. As you can see, structural wise, we are bearish. If we were to look, okay, higher low, high, equal low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low than this one, even though just by slightly. So lower low, I expect a lower high, and then we break down below. Okay, if you do not break below and retest it, meaning a break and retest, okay, we could be looking to test areas as if we do break below and retest, we could be testing we could be looking to test areas as low as weekly zones, meaning this one, or the key level of 8500. It is also to note that price can also retrace upwards to create another lower high, like whatever I just said, to the weekly zone or key level 90 flat before crashing. So I do expect prices to react either here or here. So my focus area is here and here. We could potentially just break lower, come back, retest, and crash. Or we could retrace and then crash. So it's up to our interpretation, and we have to wait and see what prices do. Moving on to our second last pair, GBPUSD. GBPUSD has been a very interesting pair over the past few weeks. If you look at this, over the past 98 days, it's been within this consolidation zone, and it's really pissing me off. But let's read what I wrote down. Buyers for GU is mainly bullish, with prices refusing to break below the weekly level and key level, as well as having a strong rejection when prices came close to parity. Okay, close to parity, meaning here 1-to-1, prices rejected. Same thing with GBPCHF. Actually, the price came up, broke this structure, came back down, created a higher low, higher high, equal low, you would say, But look at this. Look at this. I want you guys to really look at this. This is a doji, like following the bearish trend line, and then the next week, which was last week, broke above and formed this weekly hammer candle that closed just before the weekly zone. Okay, just before the weekly zone. And it's coming really close to key level 1.225. Okay, this is where we'll be looking for a potential retest. So this is where I'll be looking at my notes once again, so I can remember what I noted down. Okay, however, price also seems to be forming a head and shoulder pattern which could not be ignored. Okay, let's not ignore that price is in fact forming a head and shoulder pattern. Let's quickly draw it out. Okay, left shoulder, head, boom, boom. Do you guys see it? So if price were to reject this weekly zone or even the key level and start going lower, breaking this overall, that okay, I'm gonna draw that. Basically this. Okay, not I can delete this. Okay, if prices were to break below this, yeah, I do want to draw focus zone right here. And here, oh, it's here. This is my 3 focus zones where I expect price to react off. So if price were to break the head and shoulder like neckline, come back and retest, which is also in line at 1.2 level, we could be heading lower. But obviously, I don't think that's likely just yet because overall price is still bullish right now. Unless we fail to break above this key level, which is the 1.225. Okay, let's see. For bulls, a great confirmation will be a strong break and retest of the weekly zone 1, which is this. Break, retest on the low time frame, that is. And a continuation to break and retest the key level 1.22500. Exactly what I just said. Price needs to break above, retest, break above, retest, and so on. Structure, guys, structure. I'm mainly looking for buys as long as prices show me it wants to respect support areas and forms lower time frame bull structure and formations. So that's basically what I'm looking at. But let's not dismiss the possibility of price going lower. Anything can happen, although I think it's highly unlikely. Move on to our last pair. Okay, this is our last pair. This is an extremely long note. Let's read it. AU is mainly bearish with a double top formation, bump, bump, okay, and a break off recent bullish trend line. Bullish trend line, break. Alright. It is also to note that prices have recently broken the daily zone, which we could be heading for potential retest. Daily zone break in line with the key level of 0.675. So we could be potentially heading for retest to take prices lower to the next daily zone, the key level, or perhaps even lower, or weekly bottom 1, potentially weekly bottom 2 as well. This is a key focus area for AUD USD. Remember, guys, this is where you want to be looking for trades. Okay, you expect prices to retrace and crash. See, it is also blah 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 blah. I'll be waiting for the test on my focus area while waiting for the lower time frame confirmation with structure and formations. Everything has to connect. I want you guys to remember that whenever you see an interest area on the higher time frame, make sure the lower time frame is in sync with the higher time frame. That gives you the best probability ever. And price on a lower time frame forms the formation that you want. In this case, if we're talking about taking prices lower in a bearish sense, probably evening star, shooting yeah, 3 black crows, shooting star. There's so many patterns, but whichever you guys choose, whichever pattern you guys choose to use, focus on that, right? Looking, take prices to the key level and potentially lower if price decides to continue break and retest more areas. Meaning I am looking for coming here, retest, coming here, retest, coming here. Okay, so I need price to keep forming structure for me to take prices lower. Alright, however, if prices were to continue higher and breaks the key level of 0.675, meaning this, break, retest, we'll be looking to enter for a buy towards the next level of 7 flat, which is right here. Because although we are looking bearish overall, if price doesn't make like another push lower, at this point, we could be looking as this overall structure as a higher low, in the sense where, quickly draw it out for you, turn off this chart, you can see this is a higher low, equal, okay, this is equal highs, it could be a higher low, and we could even forming a wedge pattern. Since second, let me quickly draw this on. Could be doing this, okay, coming here, coming here, coming here, coming here, coming here, coming here. We could be forming this and then break. That is what we could possibly be looking at as well. Just have to be ready for anything that comes to us. We don't chase price, we let price come to us. Remember that. As is in, okay, the 7th flat is also in line with the long-term bearish trend. Good look. Long-term bearish trend down. I think I meant trend line. Quickly add that. Caps lock. Oop. Okay, so you can see price A, B, C, potentially D. So could be looking for somewhere here as a target. So that's pretty much it for the week, guys. For all of these pairs, this is what I'll be focusing on this week. And just before we completely end this stream, let's look at what news is up ahead. Okay, so on Tuesday, 21st March, we have to be very careful because liquidity during the Asian market is going to be super low because the Bank of Japan is having a bank holiday. So if you guys don't really know, when a bank is on holiday, liquidity is low, spreads are high, and there probably won't be much movement. Keep that in mind, especially for the pair, like for the Japanese yen on Tuesday. Okay, overall the rest is basically low impact news. Yellow means low impact, orange means medium, and red means high impact. However, on Wednesday we are looking at the CPI, okay, consumer price index year on year for the British pound. So that will be one of our focus. And Thursday is where we're going to see a lot of movement because of the Fed's decision on interest rate. This is very, very important because currently, okay, the interest rate in the US is 4.75 and they're looking to increase it by another 25 basis point, which is 0.25% to 5%. However, this might not be the case right now. Everyone thinks that, oh, USD is bullish right now because they're gonna increase rates. However, due to the banking crisis that's currently happening in the USA, they might revert their decision to increase it by 0.25% and just remain it at 4.75. So what effect is this gonna have on the market? I'm not sure. I am not a fundamental analyst, but this is the key events we need to take note of. And on the same day of 23rd March, Thursday, we also have British Pound. Bank of England, the BOE, is making their interest rate decision as well. Once again, they are looking to increase by 0.25%. Other than that, on Friday, we have a bunch of high impact news for the euro, but I'm not currently looking at this because this is the main event. The USD and GBP bank rate. This is what we need to focus on, and obviously Thursday is going to be an extremely volatile day, in my personal opinion. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the stream, guys, and make sure you guys follow the NCBFX Instagram channel because everything behind the scenes is filmed here, and news updates as well as updates on me going live will be posted here, as well as hit that like, follow, subscribe, all the buttons you can click on this specific site. Click it, it does not matter except the dislike button. Don't do me dirty, guys, okay? But obviously subscribe, turn the bell notification on. This live stream, if you guys are watching right now, will be uploaded later on. I'll edit it as fast as possible, I promise you guys, and I'll be uploading it right here. So till then, peace out.